September 11, 2001 was one of the hardest days in United States of America history. The day began just like any other regular day until the World Trade Center in New York and the Pentagon in Virginia were struck by planes hijacked by terrorists. This is a topic I have always been interested in because I was just a couple months old when this tragic terrorist attack occurred. I want to explain the events that happened on 9/11, how many people were affected, and how this event affected our country. And here's a picture of the Twin Towers and the Pentagon. On 9/11, 4 airplanes were hijacked by a total of 19 terrorists. 2 of these crashed into the Twin Towers, causing them to catch fire and eventually collapse. And here's an image of a plane crashing into the second tower, after the first had already been hit. Another plane crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia. The plane only destroyed a part of the U.S. military headquarters. The last plane was believed to be headed to the White House or U.S. Capitol, but the passengers on the plane fought back and prevented the terrorists from succeeding. This plane crashed into Shanksville, Pennsylvania instead. September 11th was the most devastating terrorist attack on U.S. soil in history. According to the Scholastic News by Natalie Smith, in all, nearly 3,000 people were killed in the 9/11 attacks. This is one of the deadliest attacks that has been made on our country. People were affected even miles from the Twin Towers because of the smoke from the collapsing. To this day, people are still being affected by 9/11 because of cancer. In the journal article, Cancers Related to 9/11 in Responders and Survivors by Vincent Vidari, in 2020, he states how many people were exposed to many carcinogens from the building collapsing. After what happened on September 11, 2001, many changes had to be made for our country to try and make it safer. The Scholastic News also tells us after 9/11, a new cabinet-level department was created, and this was called the Department of Homeland Security. This works to protect our country from terrorism. The airports have even made changes and improvements to make airports safer for people. The Transportation Security Administration was created to help guard United States airports. The FBI no-fly list was also created, and this means that if someone is on that list, they are prohibited from flying in or out of the United States. In conclusion, September 11, 2001 is a day our country will never forget. We will always remember all of the people that lost their lives that day and are forever grateful for all of the first responders. Hopefully, with all these safety precautions in place, a tragedy of this magnitude will never happen again. And there is a 9/11 memorial in New York with all the names of